NVIDIA Ferrari Edition, the heart of the race. Racing, Scuderia Ferrari Edition, the heart of the race.
Hello everyone and welcome to round number 6 of the Formula SimRacing Academy Championship. Today we are here at the circuit of Silverstone in Great Britain for 32 laps today. And we are at this 5.8 kilometer circuit. We've got 3 DRS zones this year. So yes, we've got DRS in turn 1 and 2. And we will be having a look at what the drivers can do in qualifying, which is just commencing as in the background. So we will jump into the lap times and we will see who is currently leading. And I'm your commentator, Rodger, and today I'm joined by Alex Skinner.
Well. What a race we've got coming up, Cameron. And here at the Silverstone circuit, one of those very famous tracks in terms of racing and plenty of overtaking spots. And with that inclusion of that new DRS zone going into turns 1 and 2, it'll be very interesting to see who has the cojones to be able to keep that DRS open, because it has been possible. We've seen it in practice, but it's very possible to keep that DRS open. And as Matthew Tewson is currently finishing off his first lap of the day, it's going to be very interesting to see what these drivers can do. And obviously, Alfie Lawrenson coming up at the moment, a 1:27.0. So already, I can see us getting into the 26s as this session goes on.
Yeah, 26s will certainly be possible. And as you say, Alfie Lawrenson, this is actually his debut as well. He is up there doing a good job straight away. Yeah, we should see times get into the high 26s as the real road will be building up and the drivers will be getting a lot more grip from the track as they get towards the end of the session. All drivers are only allowed 12 laps. On Balascalar actually has just gone quickest, 3,000ths quicker. So all drivers only allowed 12 laps, so they have to choose them wisely and wait potentially near the end of the session to get that real road and that grip.
Yeah, definitely. And as we've seen in multiple races here in Formula SimRacing, the real road can make all of the difference in terms of laps. And obviously, a 30-car grid here, if you're stuck in that midfield, especially coming through 1, 2, and 3, as we saw last year, Cameron, it can make the world of difference if you make it through that initial first lap carnage.
Yeah, and we're on board now with Tom Lombards, who is actually moved to Go Speed Racing for this race, albeit his tag actually says Flag Tag Sim Racing. We'll try and sort that out in a minute, but he is moved to Go Speed. He hasn't had the best start to the season. He's sort of been top 10, top 15, hasn't really been able to get the pace that he wanted, but he's now moved to Go Speed, and let's see what he can do on this qualifying lap of his. And as we come down into Brooklands, this is a very, very fast corner. He's going to be going down to 4th gear, lots of steering lot to try and get that turned in. And then Luffield, which is a very important corner because you've got a straight after this, very squirrely on the exit, up to what is one of the best sequences of corners in the whole calendar. We're coming up to Copse Corner, which should be absolutely flat out. And yes, it is a bit of oversteer though. bit of oversteer on that setup, but then these corners here, we've got Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel absolutely flat out through the first couple of apexes. One gear down, then a second gear down, already 6th gear, well over 200 kilometers an hour coming out that exit and down this back straight. He is currently in 3rd position, but he's going to be seeing if he can make an improvement. He's only 300ths off pole from Ballas in the Netrex at the moment. That car gets out of the way nicely into this final chicane, which is so critical because it's one of the 2 slow sections, and this is where you can really lose some time. And coming to this final DRS zone, and where can he put himself? He stays in P number 3.
Yeah, a very good lap indeed. Just didn't seem to work out for him through that middle sector where the car just did not want to grip and turn in. It would turn in, but the rear end would go, nope, no grip on these tyres, thank you very much. A load of other drivers setting their laps and starting just to wind up. And a driver who has just jumped up the order is Jan Wozka. Only 9th at the moment is the pole in the SimRacing car. And another driver I am a bit confused about being so far down is Kasper Reutefeldt is in the other SimRacing car. He is in 16th. The championship leader at the moment of the Academy Championship is in 16th place. That is not going to bode well, but obviously drivers around him with penalties as well. 3 penalties coming into this round for certain drivers. So we'll have to see what is done with that in terms of qualifying. But as drivers are coming through, just trying to see if anyone's on an improvement at the moment. And as I say that, Ballas Galliard is currently on an improvement of his own as the rear end gets very, very loose.
And one driver I'm on board with now is Vladislav Pavlov in the Raw Blue Racing, and we've spoken about these guys a lot for the first 5 races of this season. They've had a very, very impressive start to their Formula Sim Racing career, and they are currently leading the Constructors' Championship. However, actually, no, sorry, I think they're second in Constructors' Championship. However, they've got some good drivers like Vladislav Pavlov, who was absolutely dominant in Baku. And even with the red flag race we had there, he was still going to win that by an absolute country mile. And he wasn't quite so good last time out, but he's sitting 3rd in the Constructors' Championship. And he's currently... he may not improve on this lap, but he is certainly finishing this lap for now. And this has been a very good debut for this team, run by Matthew Clip. And where does he put himself with this lap? Yes, he doesn't improve. He stays in P number 8. And from that Baku race as well, someone who impressed was Noah Ruvers, the Dutch driver. He managed to get P3 there, but he hasn't been really able to bring that form into these races afterwards, getting P12 and P13. Oh, and he loses the back end, and he will just come and finish that lap, even though that will not be any sort of improvement for him. But he's certainly someone to look out for the future. He has got...
Oh, Cameron. Might want to switch to indirect Remetz. He's currently in 11th. He has just gone a 10th faster than Ballas Galliard through the first sector as he comes through Luffield and now makes his way down the old pitch straight. This is going to be very interesting to see what Remetz can do, because that car has been looking very, very quick through the practice sessions, and the fact he's only 700ths up on his best as he came across that sector line shows that there is a lot to be gained as he comes through Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel. See if he can improve. It's getting very, very tight indeed as to an improvement. He puts the power down out of the S section. 300ths down, so he can still take this pole if he makes the final sector as optimal as possible. Coming into the final few corners. It's just you've got to have so much confidence through here to make this work. The downforce on these cars, so forgiving for you. They will let you take these corners a lot faster than you think you can. But as he comes round out of the final corner, hits the DRS, this is going to be very close indeed. And it's not pole, but it is P8 for Galliard. No, not for Galliard, sorry, for Remetz. And 10th off of Ballas Galliard. That is how close the top 10 is at the moment, Cameron.
It's certainly very close, and one reason why is because at this track there isn't really anywhere to lose time, because they're all high-speed corners. In high-speed corners, you only gain thousandths or hundredths, but it's in the low-speed corners that's where you actually lose all the time. But obviously here, you really only have turn 3 and 4, and maybe the final chicane as well, which is where you're going to lose time. So I'm not surprised at all that we have, what is that, 3/10 covering the top 12 at the moment.
I was about to say, you say 3/10 covering the top 12, it might drop down because Niranjan Kumar is on an improvement as well. He's only 400ths off in the second sector, so he's got the same task as Indrek Remits as he comes out of the final corner. Where will he improve to? He will improve to 9th place, so great job by the NRWO driver. NRWO coming into this season a lot with a bit of an underwhelming season before, and they're really putting the hammer down this year. It's very much a team that I'm impressed with in terms of where they are now, in terms of where they were the year before. I'm just trying to see if there's anyone else. Castle Reitfeld, he is someone that really needs to improve. 19th on the grid at the moment. And he is on what is going to be his final run. So with 1 minute and 8 seconds left of the session, it's crunch time for Castle Reitfeld. So he comes through the first couple of corners. DRS as wide open as it can be on these cars. Through turns 3 and 4. Trying to get as close to that sausage at the rear end. Really, a lot of these cars seemingly going for looser rear end setups because they know that it's worth getting more speed through the high speed corners and the low speed traction zones, which wouldn't blame them. That's how I'd set the car up myself. He's 4,000ths up on his best and 700ths down, so that's how close the top he is in that first sector. Now he needs to improve on his second sector by, well, roughly about half a second if he wants to really be looking anywhere for pole here. So we'll see what Cass can do. Comes through the first corner, well, the old first corner got through Maggots and Beckett's and into Chapel. So smooth, that car. No pitching at all, as that looks unstable through there, but all under control. And he's 2/10 down. Cass is really struggling here today, and I am extremely surprised as to why he's struggling here, because he very much has been one of those drivers that's been up the front every race, especially if we look at Paul Ricard last time out, jumping up a couple of places, making his strategy work, and getting very, very close to Jan Vosnicker, who trialled that extremely risky strategy. And out of the final corner, he's up to 16th, but that is nowhere near where he needs to be.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think it's just him that's struggling. His teammate Jan Wozniacki, winner last time out, winner the time before as well. The last 2 races he's won, Canada and France. And, oh, he's actually just gone up to P3 now. That is P3. But he was down in P13 as well, so I thought it was actually SimRacing who are struggling. But seemingly, no, it is just Cas Reitfeld and Miguel de los Rios as well, 15th and 16th at the moment.
Yeah, Netrex as well, having a bit of a mixed fortune, because one of their other drivers, Andrzej Borotowski, is currently coming down, just come across Sector 2. He's in 17th. He's looking to improve actually quite a margin if he can nail this final sector. He's a 10th down on Pavlov. Pavlov, who's now shot up to the pole position. That is very impressive. Well done, Pavlov, to jump up to pole. It's been a very, very close session all day. And Borotowski jumped up to 10th place, which means he will be starting on those super soft tyres. Obviously, the way that Formula Sim Racing works, the top 10 locked into the tyres that they qualified on. Everyone else has free choice. So that means that Miguel de los Rios and Cas Reitfeld, the 2 other ISMRS cars, they've got a very good chance of this. And now, Cameron, if I'm correct, I just want to check this up with you, because you are obviously, very famous in the world of Formula Sim Racing for your many tyre escapades. With penalties, if grid penalties are involved, do the drivers that start in the top 10 due to penalties also have to go on the same tyre, or do they get the free choice like in F1?
No, it's the top 10 are locked in now. So this top 10, they are the top 10 that have to start on the super softs. If there's any penalties afterwards, then that doesn't matter. So even if you have a 10-place grid penalty and you start 15th, then you still have to start on the super soft, because it is the top 10 from qualifying.
Well, the only person that's going to worry about that is Zolt Sux, who has got a 5-place grid penalty for this round. However, he qualified 2nd, so he'll only drop down to 7th, which will promote Jan Vosnicker up to 2nd on the grid. Front row start for the pole. Balascaliar, Alfie Lawrenson, Tom Lomberts, and Michael Wilson will all jump up a place due to Zolt Sux's penalty. Other penalties that we'll talk about today is Edouard Batalla has a 13-place grid penalty from Canada to serve. He obviously wasn't here last time out, so he has to serve it today. And the other driver who has a penalty, who I don't believe is here today, is Gerard Batalla, who has a 2-place grid penalty, which seems relatively small, but any grid penalty, especially around here, is a major one, especially if it's a 13-place penalty. Although, for Batalla, who's qualified 30th, I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference.
All right, and we will take a mini break now, and when we come back, we will run you through the full grid after penalties, and we will get you set for this 32-lap race for round 6 of the Academy Championship. Hello and welcome back to round number 6 of the Formula SimRacing Academy Championship 2019. I'm your commentator Cameron Rodger, and I'm again joined by Alex Skinner.
Well, it's good to be back, and here in sunny Silverstone, not a cloud in the sky from what I can see on my end, and it's a bit unusual. It's been raining here all day, actually, in the sunny. Well, when I say sunny, I mean that with a lot of air quotes over it. Sunny United Kingdom. Cameron living a bit further away from me, but obviously still probably about as wet as it is down the southeast. But very, very much nice conditions here on the server at the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. The grid has been set, the penalties have been applied, and we're about to go racing here for the 2019 Academy Series. And wow, with Vladislav Pavlov on the pole, it's going to be very interesting to see what he can do with Jan Wozniak alongside. Obviously, Royal Blue again showing some very good pace, and in the race pace at the moment, just having a look at the times being set, Tom Lambert's 3/10 quicker than anyone else at the moment, Cameron.
Yeah, moving teams, and he's finally been towards the top. So he's clearly feeling in a good place with his new team. We'll have to see how he goes for today's race. How it is, as I say, Pavlov on pole. So we have to see what he does, because he had pole in Baku and absolutely dominated, but the gap was a bit bigger. Today it's only hundredths of a second, which is separating these drivers today. So I'm expecting a very close race. And with 3 DRS zones, there should be plenty of overtaking as well.
Yep, and as we just move into the race session, the rFactor man gives his ever-famous spiel. All non-important personnel, please leave the grid now, and we will run down the grid as we go through the formation lap, as my colleague commentator decides to run down on some things of his own of the food variety. As you know, we've been very busy today and everything else, running around and making sure everything is what it should be. But as we start the formation lap, it's Vladislav Pavlov on pole for Royal Blue. Second place is Jan Wozniak for the SimRacing team. Third, Balas Galliard for Netrex. Fourth, Alfie Lawrenson for Drillers. Then it's Tom Lamberts for Ghost Speed, Michael Wilson for Ghost Speed, Zolt Suggs for Netrex, Matthew Tucson for Invictus, Dan Grankvist for Drillers, Andrzej Vorotowski for Netrex, Jiri Suravatsky for TCS Off, Danny Robbins for Royal Blue, Indrek Remets for Netrex, Niranjan Kumar for NRWO, Jakub Karjovic, sorry, I will get your name right eventually, for Ground Effect, Miguel de los Rios for ISMRS, Kas Rietveld for ISMRS, Vlad Tokarev in the very, very beautiful BM Racing car, then Henry Sinek for Drillers, Paulie Allen for TCS Off, Adam Rainey for TCS Off, Mike Almeida for the Breslin GP team, Noah Roivers for Ground Effect, Anton Skidachenko for the VRT Grand Prix team, then Renier Verheer for Breslin, Arhan Van Putten for Flag to Flag, Rafael Sebastian for TR Bluvos, Mihailo Vicentovic in the Belgrade Racing Team, the BRT, Ernest Lapins for TCS Off, and finally Eduard Batalla starting for the pit lane for NRWO. Hey, second time around, I got it right on the start. I got it right before we even finished. So, as we come towards the end of the formation lap, it's going to be very, very nice and close indeed. As Vladislav Pavlov brings the car around. And we'll prepare for what is going to be a very, very long race indeed. As I'm rejoined for the start by my very hungry commentator colleague, Cameron Rodger.
Yeah, we are here for 32 laps, and the drivers, as you can see by the tower, top 10 are on the, in fact, top 11 are on the super soft compound. Everyone else is pretty much on the mediums, a couple of softs in there too. We're probably expecting a one-stop race for these guys today. However, the tyre weight is a little bit high because of all the high-speed corners. So we'll have to see if people are going to try and make a two-stop strategy work, but let's look to the red lights now.
Yeah, as Eduard Patala will leave his, will be making his way to the end of the pit lane. We'll wait for proceedings. He is actually going to be running on the hardest compounded tyres, but here we go. 5 lights. And it's lights out, and away we go for the Academy Championship here at Silverstone. And it's a great start by Pavlov, as Jan Woznica gets a good start as well. They're going to be side by side through turn 1. A lot of drivers. There's already a Netrex off the track. That is Ballas Galliard. He will rejoin alongside Tom Lamberts, and it looks to be a pretty clean start. No, there's a Netrex around, and that looks to be Broditsovsky. And there is a big crash, and I think that is the championship leader involved, because I can see that. That's Miguel de los Rios without a front or rear wing. He has turned his car into a Formula Ford for this round, it seems. But up the front, nice and clean indeed. Obviously, only the one car off of Ballas Galliard, but up front, Vladislav Pavlov will now be setting about. The rest of the field is a bit further down. We have a little fight between Danny Robbins and Jan Grankvist. They come down towards the old turn 1. Who is more confident, and it seems to be Grankvist. He's going to run a bit wide. Obviously, he's got Tucson in front of him, so they will not be fighting. Also, there's a car off in the background as well. That's Andrzej Broditsovsky, now coming under immense pressure from Noah Roivers through Maggots and Beckett's, but he has to back out of it. But obviously, won't be seeing much overtaking for now. Just wait until the DRS kicks in, and oh boy, will we have a race on our hands, Cameron.
Yeah, what a first lap this has been, and you're right, it's not Casper Reichfeld, it was Miguel de los Rios, because Casper Reichfeld right now is going round the outside of Naranjan Kumar, and he's up into 12th place, which is not bad. That's 5 places gained, and unfortunately there was a bit of contact there on the first sector of the lap, but fortunately that is what you get when you send 30 cars into one corner. But most of the drivers are looking good, and yeah, we have to wait a couple of laps for the DRS. But at the end of lap 1, it is Vladislav Pavlov leading from the winner of the last 2 races, Jan Woznica.
Yeah, and I can now give you a full rundown of who's had to pit because of that damage. Paulie Allen then comes in for TCS off. Miguel de los Rios with a Formula Ford for an F1 car today for SimRacing. Anton Skirichenko has to come in as well for VRT, and out of this race already is Vlad Tokarev. So he was really surprising and showing last time out at Paul Ricard, but really not working out today. And I didn't say Magny Kerr this time. God, I'm doing very well today, Cameron. But as we come through, everyone's starting to gap each other a bit. Vladislav Pavlov seemingly having the pace over Jan Woznica at the moment, but you know, time will tell. As Tom Lamberts, fastest in the warm-up session. Now looking at the back of Alfie Lawrence, and Drillers having the highest race they've run for a long time, and good to see them back up the front end of the sharp end of the order. But with an exit like that, it won't be long before Tom Lamberts closes. He pulls right, and here we go. Side by side, and Lamberts has it done right in the middle of the corner as there's a big little wiggle from the back of Alfie Lawrence's Drillers, and Tom Lamberts, the stand-in for Jackson Vent. I'm gonna get my teams wrong, and Cameron's gonna laugh his head.
No, he's moved. He's moved to Go Speed.
Oh yeah, no,
that is his seat.
Go Speed. So the move to Go Speed. Well. It's given him a lot of opportunities to flag, GJT. Cameron, obviously the owner of Flag to Flag, alongside me, very much. Well, he would be hoping that was his car up there, but you know, happens all the time, and sadly, the highest Flag to Flag car is very much buried in the midfield at the moment, having its fight of its own. As actually he's in the pit lane with no front wing is Arjan van Putten in 25th place. So already things not going to plan for the team. But everybody at the moment still line astern, and the top 3 now working away from 4th place.
Yeah, it's just a small gap moving there. We'll have to see what happens when the DRS gets involved. And I'll tell you who's also got a gap is Ballas Galliard. He's dropping off this top 4 a little bit. He's got Wilson and Zooks behind him. So he needs to be careful that he doesn't get swamped by these 2 drivers. Because obviously if you're the leading car and you don't have DRS, that is going to be a massive opportunity for the cars ahead. Although Wilson didn't get the best exit on this occasion. Tom Lamberts in his sister car did have quite good top speed though, so I do wonder if Go Speed are running a slightly lower wing setup for a bit more speed on the straights. We'll have to see how that one works out during the race.
Yeah, definitely. And as we saw at Paul Ricard, a high-speed setup seems to work pretty well. And Silverstone, not that much different to Paul Ricard from what we've seen. Very much high-speed corners all around and very much corners that require traction as Tom Lamberts is getting very close to the back of the ISMRS of Jan Woznica through turns 1, 2 and 3. And he's going to be looking to do all he can as they will come through turn 4 and 5. And onto that DRS back straight. Jan Woznica without it. Tom Lamberts with it. Closing. Play the Jaws theme, ladies and gentlemen. As Jan goes defensive, Lamberts to the outside. And Jan's going to hold it, but he's going to be a lot tighter for the inside of Luffield. And will that slow him up on exit? No, it won't indeed. Tom Lamberts losing time to the back of Jan Woznica, but wouldn't be surprised if he gains that back very, very quickly.
Yeah, I think this is something we're going to see throughout the whole race. These two drivers, Jan Woznica and Tom Lamberts, fighting out, although they are on this super...
Sorry, Cameron, Balas Galliard and Zolt Suggs going extremely wide through the old turn 1 and allowing Michael Wilson. I weren't sure if they were actually going to be able to get back on the track without having a major accident of some kind. And sorry to cut in front of you there, Cameron, but obviously Michael Wilson now on the DRS of the Netrex, and oh my god, the top speed around the outside of... Oh, that is very close indeed. He's not able to make it work, but maybe a little late dive down the inside here, which he's going to do. Side by side, cuts back to Galliard, and Sux is now going to have a look as well. It's not going to work for Zolt Sux though, but he will run wide as Wilson gets the DRS. He's going to be on the inside for turn 1. He's going to back out of it wisely, because turn 1 is not a place you can overtake unless you're already alongside before you even get near the corner. And Zolt Sux decides discretion's the better part of valor as Jan Grankvist and Matt Tusen are side by side as well, doing all they can to try and make up some places and get past each other as Danny Robbins is closing as well. He's up to 10th place, so great start for Danny Robbins as we're on lap 5. And here we go, Jan Grankvist to the inside of Matthew Tusen through... Oh, that is close. Into Luffield, Tusen not going to have it inside the rear end, gets very loose, and he now comes under pressure from Danny Robbins, who is on the soft tyre, so on a compound harder tyres. And Danny's trying to do all he can to get past, but finding a very, very wide Invictus in front of him, Cameron.
Quite a bit here. So I have to see what he can do when he comes onto this this DRS zone. But yeah, Matt Tusen, quite a hard defender, so he needs to be careful because he will not give an inch.
No, definitely, and not bad thing being a hard defender, but you've got to know when the best time to give a place up is. You don't want to lose too much time as, well, speaking of losing too much time, this fight for the lead has become a three-way fight now, Cameron, because Jan Woznica with the DRS coming down towards turn 1. He'll lead off the DRS through turn 1 and 2 as Tom Lamberts behind takes out the camera bollard. Thanks, Tom. We didn't need that at all, did we? But coming through, Jan Woznica getting very close indeed. It seems that Pavlov is struggling for tyre grip at the moment. And I wouldn't be surprised with how much these tyres degrade around the Silverstone circuit. But as they come down the back straight, here we go. No real time gained by the ISMRS car, but it seems that Lamberts is still able to close on the back of Woznica. So that Ghost Speed car has plenty of top speed over the rest of the field as Zolt Suggs is side by side with Michael Wilson for 6th. Wilson holding the place and a bit further back. Tusen and Robbins side by side out of Luffield. This is very close indeed, but Danny Robbins has the place at the moment. But Tusen in the slipstream. Oh, Danny Robbins, that was a bit risky in the well, not even the braking zone, but in the turning point for the corner. And now Siravatsky is going to have a look on the inside of Maggots. No, not here. This is very close indeed. And the title leader, Kasper looks on behind as Siravatsky goes very, very twitchy and very wide indeed. This might allow the title leader to make a place up on the DRS, the ISMRS car, with plenty of top speed on the TCS. And to the inside, he's not going to make it work. He's going to have to back out of it. But further up the front, Vladislav Pavlov has lost the race lead to Jan Woznica, and now Tom Lamberts is closing in.
Yeah, good. There was a lot happening on that last lap because Sux got past Wilson as well into Copse So there was a fight going on there, but also there was this battle for the lower points as well. Now Vladislav Pavlov has also lost the lead, and I'm going to see if I can try and get a replay of this. Although Tom Lombards now is actually coming down. They've both got DRS, but Tom Lombard seems like he's got top speed down the inside into Brooklands. Can he make that work? Yes, he can. Pavlov is going to have to back out. So Pavlov 2 places in 1 lap.
I wouldn't be surprised if Lomberts can close up to the back of Jan Woznica on pace, because Jan Woznica was a lot slower in the warm-up race pace times than Tom Lomberts, and Lomberts very much known more for his race pace than his qualifying pace. So Lomberts, the Belgian, very, very quick man indeed, and I think both myself and Cameron could both agree on that ourselves. And a bit further back, everyone seems to just be nicely cruising around. There's a couple of fights actually going on. Battle for P8 is nice and strong as well. Jan Grankvist and Danny Robbins. Danny Robbins actually making some amazing pace on those soft tyres. So those super soft tyres looking a bit aged and second-hand by now. And here comes Danny Robbins to the inside of Grankvist with the DRS. Jobs are good and straight away down the hanger straight. And, well, nicely done indeed as Jakub Kartovic is having a look at the back of Niranjan Kumar. Oh, actually, sorry, no, Niranjan Kumar actually overtaking him. So Niranjan on those medium tyres, very much making some time up, as there is another set of cars side by side as Zux loses the place to Grankvist. So Zux is struggling for pace at the moment in that Netrex, and Matthew Tucson having a look as well. So that qualifying pace that we saw from Netrex seems just to be completely, seems to be their only one-hit wonder saving card at the moment, and unless they can get some pace back, they are going to struggle. But Tucson, Zux was very late on the DRS opening there, so he's lost a lot of time as Tucson goes to the inside. But a bit further up the order, Tom Lomberts and Jan Woznica have completely checked out from Vladislav Pavlov, and Lomberts, I think, is going to be having a look down the hanger straight, Cameron.
Yeah, these two guys have really gone off in the distance. But if you look on the minimap behind them, there's this massive group of cars going into to Cop's corner as well. And that's actually Zux going off. Zux actually half spun at the final corner, which is why he's no longer with Michael Wilson up the front. But we're now absolutely nose to tail for about 7 cars here coming onto this back straight. They're all going to be in DRS.
Fight for the lead. Tom Lomberts is into the lead, Cameron, as he goes round the outside of Jan Woznica on the exit of the hanger straight. But as you're right, these guys are getting very close indeed.
And Pavlov.
And Reitfeld is having a look at the back of Jiri Siravatsky, but it's not going to make it work. He's deciding discretion, the better part of valor, holding himself off on the patience as Zux comes in. He's given up. The tyres have cried enough today, and he gets it locked up on the entry to the pit lane, but decides that it's the better idea and the better strategy call at the moment. And there are other cars in the pits, Vlov and Lomberts, both in the pit lane as well. So it is that start of the pit cycle as Lomberts onto the medium tyres. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the end on those. And we'll see what Castle Reitfeld can do, because we know that he's very good on his tyres, but we know as well Jan Woznica can keep those tyres going for what seems like an age. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jan Woznica goes super softs onto the softs for the end, Cameron. But as we look again a bit further down, this massive train of cars is just getting even longer, because it is absolutely nose to tail all the way back to 50 from P6 at the moment. And this is how close the Academy Championship can get at times. And is anyone going to complain? I don't think so, as Michael Wilson's getting close to the back of Ballas Galliard for 3rd place on track. Obviously, in the pit cycle, we're more looking about 4th or 5th. So we'll see what Michael Wilson can do in the sister Ghost Speed, but decided not to come in just due to the way that the pit boxes work here. And here we go, Wilson getting closer on the DRS, and Galliard's going to have nothing to answer for. He just lets him go, lets him on the inside, and goes, yep, I'm not going to bother. I'm going to save my tyres, save my fuel. And as we say that, in comes Galliard, and Danny Robbins will stay out, of course, being on the softer tyres. But Galliard comes in, and I believe that is Alfie Lawrenson in as well for Drillers.
God, there's so much action happening in these couple of laps, and I don't really know where to show, because there's so many different strategies going on. There's different tyres. The medium tyres have actually caught up the people on the super softs who are still out, but Jan Woznia's still out again on those super soft tyres. So you might be right. You might be going to the soft tyres at the end, but it certainly seems...
it's Kaz Reitfeld on the outside of Matthew Tucson through turn 4. It's not going to work. He was on the inside through 3, and it doesn't work. You can't make that work. because you will always be losing out, but he'll be on the DRS. I don't think he'll make it work, but Matthew Susan will get very close to the back of the drillers of Grandfist. But Jiri Siravatsky is rFactor to the outside of Luffield. Not going to work there, and don't let yourself come under attack from Siravatsky, whatever you do, Cass, because these are title points that you need at this point, as Niranjan Kumar has a look to the inside of the CCS off of Jiri Siravatsky. Absolutely action, absolutely everywhere you look, but seems that TCS off has a bit better, bit of a higher top speed or easier time getting to its top speed, as Cass Reitfeld and the co are all stuck now, as Karcevic and Cynic are all stuck behind these guys. But Jan Wozniak, will he come into the pits this time by? He will stay out again. Well, as long as he's got the gap, he doesn't really need to come in, and I wouldn't blame him because he does not want to get in that traffic. But Wilson comes in. Danny Robbins will stay out as Tucson gets past Grandfist, as Kumar is round in the background. As Tucson and Grandfist both come in, so does Siravatsky.
And all these cars are having a massive fight. Tom Lombards is right in the middle of this. So this is probably why Jan Wozniak is staying out, because he does not want to pit and get involved. He wants to try and stay out, be faster, and overcut all these guys. Oh, and there's a bit of contact there in the pit lane. I saw Tucson and the Driller's car, they had contact because their pit box is right next to each other. Tucson had to go the wrong way around. But anyway, back to the fight. Tom Lombards now is trying to make up these positions, because this is really going to cost him the race win, because Jan is going to be out on those tyres, trying to create a gap to get out in front of all these cars.
Well, you say that, here comes Lombards to the inside of the Netrex. And not going to work there because you're going to be on the outside for Luffield, and even with fresher tyres, there's just not enough grip to make it work, as Stinik is having a look at the back of Karcevic. Karcevic doing an amazing job out there at the moment, it must be said, on those soft tyres, but again, Henry Cynic has, Lombards has got a lot more speed than Indrek Remitz at the moment, and Henry Cynic does go wide indeed, but Lombards actually ahead of Niranjan Kumar, who hasn't pitted yet, remember. Obviously, Niranjan with that half spin coming towards the final few corners, as Karcevic actually goes straight on at the final part of the S section. But here we go, here comes Lombards on the inside of the Netrex. At top speed of that go speed, absolutely outstanding, and to the inside he goes. He's going to run wide. He's actually going to push Remitz out wide, but not on purpose, of course, as there's a car off. And that is Henry Cynic, no front wing. So Henry Cynic in, that's going to really compromise his strategy, because he's not going to be able to go to the end on those set of soft tyres from here. So he's going to have to bolt on a set of super softs and then make it work. But Alfie Lawrenson goes to the inside of Niranjan Kumar, so Alfie Lawrenson trying to make up some time as well. But Jan Wozniak still out on track. Danny Robbins currently second. Reitfeld up to third place now. I wouldn't count Cass out of a race win now, Cameron.
Well, I have to see what he does on his medium compounds, because the thing with the medium...
Lombards in the background. Lombards in the background on the outside, on the inside, sorry, of Noah Roivers. Sorry to see it. I saw that in the background, and the speed that Lombards has at the moment on those fresh medium compound tyres is absolutely outstanding. And he's now got Karcevic, who we've seen has been struggling for grip, but you can see Cass Reitfeld up just slightly up the road if you're on board with Tom Lombards. So Lombards is very much getting closer back to the front, and Jan Wozniak really needs to consider coming in if he wants to keep this race lead.
Yeah, I think he might be trying to go to the soft compound tyres, which is certainly a good strategy, because he's coming in. Okay, this is 20 laps to go. So if this is on the mediums, he'll have a nice, easy stint on mediums to the end of the race. And who's that? Danny Robbins.
Danny Robbins stays out.
But he is on the soft compound tyres.
Can go longer than 11 laps. Well, he needs to do 20 to make it work. So we'll see when Danny Robbins comes in. But Jan Wozniak, there goes Danny Robbins, goes by into the race lead. Royal Blue leading the race. There goes Kaz Reitfeld into the lead.
Let's see where Tom Lombards is.
Jan is onto the mediums. I'm afraid that is way too late, Jan, because he's going to come out in this massive train of cars. He gets very loose on the exit of the pits, and he's out behind Niranjan Kumar.
He's miles behind.
That is absolute disaster for Jan Wozniak, and all this means is that the fact that Tom Lombards is very far ahead of him in front of this train, well, that I think is race lead to Tom Lombards by a long way. Stanislav Pavlov looks to the outside of Noah Reverse. Soft versus softs. Pavlov, after coming in, the first of the pit callers,
Ooh,
He's up to fifth.
Pavlov might be on a two-stop strategy actually if he's on those soft compound tyres, having made his pit stop. So this could not be. This might be a bad strategy call from Pavlov because he's going to have to make the same amount of pit stops as everyone else around him who is still on their first set, but he's right next to them. So this might not be a good strategy call from Vladislav Pavlov, and yeah, this is definitely race lead for Tom Lombards. I thought Jan was staying out, but I actually didn't. Staying out to get ahead of this train, but I didn't look at his lap times, and he's actually come out way behind. He is down in 12th place.
Absolute disaster for Voznica as Danny Robbins comes in. So the softs can only do about 12 laps. Full tank of fuel race start. So it's going to be touch and go as to whether they can go 8 laps more. And that might be why Jan decided to come in as Edouard Batalla gets overtaken by Alfie Lorenzen. And that's Jan Woznica getting past the first NRWO. There's Jan Woznica trying to get past the second NRWO as he goes to the inside and makes the move stick. 2 NRWOs in a set of 2 corners, and now the two are fighting each other. Here goes Kumar to the inside as Danny Robbins comes out well behind this train on the medium compound, so he can go to the end, Cameron.
Yeah, he's just giving himself a really nice easy stint because these medium tyres can probably go even towards 30 laps if you really tried. So they're going to have a nice comfortable stint where they can push quite a lot, and that's certainly what Jan Woznica is doing as well. He's already up to P9, he's already in 3 positions, but he's going to almost kill his tyres trying to catch back up to Tom Lombards.
Well, someone who's not going to be killing their tyres catching up to anyone is Pavlov, who's already on the back of Karcevic. Here we go, coming down towards the old turn 1. He's going to go to the outside of the ground effect car. And through he goes before they even make the corner. That's absolutely beautiful as Karcevic goes wide again. Here comes his teammate, Noah Reverse. And the ground effect cars, well, seemingly struggling with said concepts as there is Indrek Remitz and Adam Rainey and Alfie Lawrenson and Jan Woznica and Niranjan Kumar and Edouard Batalla. These guys all getting very close indeed as Lawrenson is looking at Remitz, but here comes Jan Woznica. These guys all getting very close for comfort. Woznica not going to make it 3 wide. Lawrenson's going to lose a lot of time here. Here comes Woznica. Beautiful move around the outside. He's going to have the inside of Remitz as one of the ground effect cars comes in. I'm not sure which one that is, as that looks like Roivers. So Roivers is in. Rainey gets very loose on the exit. So that's going to allow Jan Woznica to get a run with the DRS down towards turn 1. Here comes the ISMRS car to the outside. This is going to be tight. It's going to go side by side through turns 1 and 2. And is he going to make the move stick, Cameron? Well, he's going to be on the outside, and he's going to make the move stick. Absolutely beautiful by Jan Woznica.
God, this guy he's made up 7 positions in 2 laps. He's just absolutely gone past all those guys who are currently still out. And that is a wonderful move wonderful 7 moves by Jan Woznica. And he's now going to be looking at Karcevic as well. So he's now up into, he's still in net P3, but he's now up into a position where he can use those tyres and the fresh, clean air. Unlike Tom Lombards, who's now going to be catching up to Cass Reitfeld, Jan's teammate, ironically. And Cass is going to be staying out for probably another at least 5 laps. Maybe about 3 laps he wants to go to the soft tyres. So this could lose Tom some time.
I am in shock because the driver that last year struggled to even get near the points with Drillers Motorsport is now suddenly up the front in an ISMRS. And full credit to him. One of my old drivers as well. He's now going to have a look at Karcevic as well on the run towards the final few corners. Easily job done on the hanger straight. Beautiful move by Jan Woznica up to 4th place. I wouldn't count him out of anywhere decent because obviously remember, Pavlov has got to pit again because Pavlov is on those soft tyres. He is 2-stopping, we believe, as Karcevic finally bails from P4 in this race. And Adam Rainey, he has been going a long way indeed on this set of tyres, but it's been working out for the TCS. Driver is in the background. I've just seen Michael Wilson and Balascari are getting very close for comfort. These guys trying to make up time as well, because remember, these guys came out even further behind the rest of the field, and they're now on the back of Edouard Batalla, who's made up. I must say, who has made up on strategy alone at the moment?
Oh, Lombards goes to the
21
lead.
places.
Sorry, Lombards goes to lead, so he is now in the lead, and he's going to be pulling away. So this is an important time for Jan Woznica, who needs to use this clean air. Otherwise, Tom Lombards is going to be up the road.
Yeah, sorry, I'm completely missing that. But I was saying, Edouard Batalla, 29 places he's made up at the moment, starting last, stone dead last, and in the pit lane, I should add, is now into the top, is now in 9th place. Absolutely outstanding strategy work and pace from Batalla. But as we look a bit, obviously, as you said, Cameron, Tom Lambert's already checking out away from Castle Rotfeld, who will be coming in about four or 5 laps, as you said. So, as Vladislav Pavlov is obviously going to be looking to come in alongside Kaz. And with these guys coming in, there won't be much time lost, as that is a very defensive Adam Rainey. I've just seen dart to the right, dart to the left, and here we go. Lawrence with a DRS in the top.
Oh!
There's contact!
He just turned in far too early, and
that is Rainey out.
Yeah.
Rainey's lost the wheel.
That was just too. I'm getting a replay here. That's just too ambitious from Alfie. I think from this camera position, hits Rainey on the outside, and they are both into the wall. Unfortunately for them. Actually, Alfie Lawrence has managed to get back on the track, but Adam Rainey is going to be out, and I don't think he'll be very happy with that. But we might need to see what the stewards say about that if it goes that far after the race. But yeah, it just seems like he turned in too early.
Attention a bit further up again, because Michael Wilson's having a look at the back of Batala, and with Galliard having another half spin out of the final corner, he's not got pressure from behind. He's going to go to the outside of the NRWO driver, and look at that beautiful, absolute magnifique to the inside of Luffield, and that's jobs are good and jobs done for Michael Wilson. He's now got indirect remits ahead of him. He's going to be fed up of seeing the back of Netrex cars today, I think, is Michael Wilson, because he started behind one, he's been racing behind one, he's been racing with one, and now he's following another. But that's obviously unlucky as well for Alfie Lawrence, who has still got all of his car attached, so he hasn't actually lost anything in terms of body parts, so he doesn't have to pit necessarily. But we'll see. But Tom Lambert, Castle Rotfeld still staying out as well. We've got to wait to see when Pavlov comes in, because that will be roughly around when the rest of the field do. But Jan Woznica is visibly closer. He can see Pavlov. And I wouldn't be surprised if he does come in soon. As Remets comes in, unleashes Michael Wilson yet again. So Remits in, has only done 17 laps. So this is signaling that Kaz Rotfeld is going to be in soon. The medium runners are going to be in soon, Cameron.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely be able to go to 20 laps, and especially with lighter fuel at the end, you're not going to need to go quite as far, because your super softs will last longer at the end of this race. But Cass is still in a fairly decent position here in second place, but you have to be careful when he comes out to not get involved in too much of the fights and kill his tyres too soon.
Well, I said I was worried about Cass early on and where he was starting because of his grid position. But he's made it work so far on those medium tyres, run his race up to second on track, and with strategy, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually comes out within the top 5, because with these guys pit, he's not going to be involved in anything, because he is a very, very long way ahead of anyone else. It's about, what, a 20-second pit delta here, and he's a second back. He's looking at coming out in P12 if he stops this lap, so I would not be surprised if Treitfeld comes out anywhere near those guys in P12, and I think now would be a good time to pit and go onto those super softs in personally, because with where he is, it's looking very handy indeed. But staying out, as long as he can keep those lap times going, is not a bad choice at all from the SimRacing driver. And maybe he's going to try and hold up Vladislav Pavlov to let Jan Woznica close up.
Oh my god, Danny Robbins here going down the inside. Oh! The Netrex has come straight across him, and he's going, who is that? Is that
Ballas Galliard, who came straight across front of him. Galliard getting too impatient for his own good. And it's not the first time we've seen that from Ballas.
He went off at Cops on this lap as well, and then he just came right across the nose of Danny Robbins. He's going to be overtaken now by or potentially overtaken by Mike Almeida as
it's going to
well.
be very close. No, he's going to let Galliard take the turn, but as we all see Batala in, so it'll be interesting to see where Batala actually comes out, because he's already stopped. He's onto the softs to the end, but on strategy alone, Cameron, Edward Batala has made up 11 places. Very impressive by the NRWO driver. Yeah, very impressive indeed.
He's done quite a good job so far, and he only needs to make up a couple more positions to get points, because points go down to 15th place. So we will keep an eye on what he is doing, but obviously currently down in 19th place, does have some work to do still to get points, but not bad from starting from the pit lane.
Must say, these cars looking absolutely beautiful in sunlit circuit of Silverstone, and Siravatsky getting very close to the back of Matthew Tewson. This is for P9 on the circuit as they come through Magnus Beckis and Chapel. But onto the hangar straight, I would not be surprised to see that TCS off car get very close to the back of that Invictus car. And obviously, Been a very good race by Siravatsky indeed. Running P10 at the moment. Still hasn't pitted yet. But still, as Jan Woznica, he is able to see the back of Vladislav very, very nicely now. And he can actually see his teammate a bit up the road. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're on the phone to each other saying, look, I'm closing. When I get to you, let me go. But with the title implications as they are, and obviously, we have only got a few rounds to go. Obviously, plenty of time left, plenty of rounds left. But as I'm saying, not that long in retrospect. That title fight's getting very close for comfort as Michael Wilson, speaking of close for comfort, he is getting very close to the back of the NRWO, dives to the inside. And that's going to be all very close. The door gets slammed shut in his face. But Wilson won't give that up that easily. Will come onto the throttle, out of left field, and will power his way down towards the old turn 1 of Cops. And here we go. Look at that. The top speed of the go speed is absolutely beautiful as Niranjan Kumar having a very, very short lifespan of P5 now. Your time is up, Niranjan. The death is coming for you, and so is the pit lane. The pit lane calls soon.
Woznica is now in DRS of Pavlov, so this...
Reitfeld in as well. Reitfeld in as well,
okay.
and same as Pavlov.
Wow, that was not the best strategy from Pavlov,
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the pit stop cycle, and Woznica will jump up to P2. How much time has he lost to Tom Lambert's 7.3 seconds, Cameron. Nearly 7.5 seconds. As Pavlov comes into his box, Kaz Reitfeld onto the super softs. Where's he going to come out? Because we know how good a stop this could be. Pavlov onto the softs again. So he's not confident going on the supers to the end. But Kaz Reitfeld comes out in P9 just behind. He's just behind a back marking car of Vicentovic. So Vicentovic is going to have to get out of the way pretty sharpish, which he does. So good job, Mihailo Vicentovic. But Galliard is out ahead of Pavlov. So with Cass on the supers and the guys ahead of him still, having not pitted, he's looking good for 4th place here, Cameron. Looking very, very good for 4th place here. And I am not surprised at all by that, with the pace that he's shown all race. And the fact as well that Tom Lambert is actually gapping Jan Woznica at the moment. I don't think a win is possible, but I definitely think that a podium, maybe even 2nd place, is possible for Kaz Reitfeld. As Jiri Siravatsky, again, very close to the back of Matthew Tewson through the Maggots Chapel section, but just seems to lose it on the exit. And with Tewson having DRS, he's just not able to close up as much as he'd like. There's a bit further back, Pavlov to the outside of Galliard. Now, will Galliard be nice and let him go? Well, he's going to have to be. He's got no top speed compared to the Royal Blue. And through goes Pavlov as Niranjan Kumar bails into the pit lane for NRWO. I believe the only one of the field that's going to actually pit at the moment. And I am correct indeed. So it's going to allow Castle Reitfeld up into P8.
Yeah, this is a critical time for Cass because he has got, well, directly 3 cars ahead of him that he needs to overtake. They're all on older, harder tyres, so it shouldn't be too difficult, but he doesn't want to kill his tyres while doing it. If he wants to have any sort of chance at getting on this podium, he needs to use the tyres efficiently.
Tewson getting very close to the back of Sux as well, so there's going to be a bit of fight there as Vicentovic gets out of the way of Vladislav Pavlov in the background. It's getting very, very close indeed between these guys, and obviously, as you said, Kaz has got to get past these guys quickly and cleanly. Emphasis on the cleanly. Doesn't want to burn his tyres up. Danny Robbins isn't far ahead. And obviously Danny Robbins has pitted, remember. So Danny Robbins is going to the end. So he's relatively looking at 5th place to overtake on track. Or maybe get past on strategy. And then have to bolt it to the end to catch up to the back of everyone else. But again, Siravatsky seems to be so weak out of the S section that Cass could probably just cruise up to the back of him. As Tewson is still trying to close to the back of Sux. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys come in anyway now, bolt on some supers and go to the end. Because it is around that time. All 3 staying out and obviously still waiting. Kaz Reitfeld getting very, very close indeed.
These guys going to the end as well.
Oh, they are
'Cause
going to. I haven't thought they pitted yet,
Yeah,
Cameron.
Tucson definitely started on the super soft compound because he was
Oh,
in
yes,
the top
that is
10.
very true.
So Cass
God,
is going to have to do these legitimately, overtake these people legitimately.
My brain is failing me today, Cameron, and I'm very annoyed about that. So Tucson actually 6th on merit. Well done, Matthew Tucson. That's probably why I'm not used to seeing Matthew Tucson so high up the order recently, but he's very much worked on his racecraft a lot, and he's now going to be having a look at the back of the Zooks again. Here we go, side by side, Matthew Tucson around the outside, and well, that's going to be job done because he's going to have the inside for Luffield, and if he hits the brakes, no, he's not. Oh my, Matthew Tucson, where is your corner speed gone? But here we go. Siravatsky can now, all he can see is Kaz Reutfeld in his mirrors. And well, he would see him in his mirrors if the mirrors weren't black and filled with absolute void. But Siravatsky knows that he's got a car behind him. He's getting very, very scared indeed. And well, why wouldn't you be scared of a massive green and black car coming up behind you with a rate of knots about 20 times quicker than yours at the moment? And this is the fight that's going to be going to the end because the top three are all spread out from each other. As Cass Reutfeld is very well within DRS range of these guys. He's already pretty much put the tow rope on the back and is just cruising at the moment. Put the adaptive cruise control on and gone, all right, boys, drag me along with you. But here we go. Cass getting very close to the back of Siravatsky. I would not be surprised that SimRacing car's got the top speed. He's not going to do it through turns 1 and 2. He's got the tyre grip, but he's got to be smart with it. It's all good, all well and good having the pace, but you've got to be smart with it to make it work. And Cass is pretty good at that. We've seen that through the rounds at Paul Ricard, and we've seen that for the rest of the year. But his teammate Jan Wozniak making a better move at the moment, up in second. And obviously, Don Bertz, the first race with a move. Ghost Speed looking at a 1-3 at the moment.
Tuo takes it.
Yeah, Tucson side by side, and Reutfeld on the inside. Beautiful move by Cass Reutfeld.
Yeah, 2 moves there. Well, actually, Tucson didn't manage to make it stick, but he's now got Cass Reutfeld, who did make it stick on Yuri Siravatsky. And Cass Reutfeld, I think, is going to be overtaking Tucson when we get to this back straight. He just needs to stay close enough. Because, yeah, Tucson was really slow. I noticed that last lap. He was really slow in Copse Corner. And the DRS detection is right here, so Cass will definitely be getting it. Oh, a bit like... I thought that was Tucson. I thought that was Tucson going.
Very far across, Cameron.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I was very scared as well.
We have to see what he can do now.
Tucson with the DRS, the SimRacing with the DRS, Siravatsky with the DRS, and Vladislav Pavlov without the DRS. But that's a good point as well. Pavlov getting close to these guys as Cass Reutfeld. Tucson just able to close up to the back of Sux as Tucson goes wide. Here we go. That's the opportunity that Cass needed to the inside. And there's contact between the two. They lock wheels. And now Cass is under pressure from Siravatsky, but it's not going to happen. But Tucson, as Cass spins, Cass is off into the gravel. He
loses his rear wing.
It's gone. That's his race done.
Yeah.
Cass Reutfeld is out of this race. The
Ah,
title leader is out of the race, Cameron.
what did I
this is
say
now gonna
10
mean-
laps ago? Matt Tucson is a very aggressive defender, and that just put him slightly offline. Probably heat up the tyres a little bit, and he lost it coming out of that last corner. And so Vladislav Pavlov having a look at the TCS car. Can he get it down the inside into Brooklands? He's going to be looking down. Yes, he can. But
The two blue and white cars. The two blue and white cars getting very close for comfort. One's a bit more black than the other one though, but very, very close indeed between TCS Off and Royal Blue Racing. Both new teams to the series and already proving that they can upset the establishment indeed. So you think at the moment the top few teams at the moment, Ghost Speed, SimRacing, well they're new, but we know they're pretty much a strong force alongside ACR. You know, then you've got that Royal Blue car in 4th. You've got Netrex there. You've got Invictus there. You've got teams that have been here for years, and they are already being under pressure from these new teams and drivers. This is what FSR is about. This is what Academy is about. And it just shows that if you've got the drivers and the team behind you, oh boy, can you do well here as Zug's getting under pressure again, as Siravatsky getting loose on the rear end, and Pavlov on those fresh soft tyres. He's going to be having a very nice snip up the rear through turns 1 and 2. The car is gripping very nicely indeed. It even has a look to the inside of turn 3. And even to the inside of turn 4. And there's contact, they lock wheels, there's a spin for
that was-
both of them.
That was too risky. He didn't need to make that in that corner. There's DRS zone right here, and he's not only ruined that chance for 7th place, but also maybe for 5th place, because he needs to get past all 3 of these cars ahead of him, being on those the newest tyres out of all of them.
What it does mean, though, is that Ziravatsky won't have DRS ready. Oh, that was aggressive from Ziravatsky. That's too aggressive from Ziravatsky. And I understand that you've just had a bit of an altercation, but that is not how you go about defending Ziravatsky. Calm down, Jiri. Further up, that's allowed Houston just to know he's got no pressure from behind him at the moment. He can just focus on that 5th place. Would I believe it would be Tucson's best finish of the year so far, and I believe his best career finish in Formula SimRacing. I believe if he finished 5th place, well, he's looking for 5th place, and here comes Pavlov to the inside for 7th, and he's made it work. Ziravatsky might have a look on the cut on into the final few corners. He's going to be aggressive. He's going to back out of it, though. Smart from Ziravatsky. Knows that he's not got it at the moment. But up front, lap 27, Lomberts is a country mile. Well, I say a country mile. It's 4.7, so Vosnica. It's closing down, but will it close down enough, Cameron?
I don't think so. There's only 5 laps left. He's going to have to be a 2nd lap quicker. I think Lombards just did the strategy way better. Managed to not lose time with older tyres like Jan did. Oh, and is Matusin going to be able to get the move here? He might be. He's got a way higher top speed than the Netrex. He's going to have to go down the inside this time. Doesn't quite commit to it. He has got enough laps.
He's forced the Netrex wider, though, so that's going to off-centre the Netrex through left field. But it's going to allow the Netrex to get a better exit, so it's usually, in my opinion, it's better to, not, if you know you aren't going to make that move, hold yourself back, wait for the exit and get the run through towards Cops. And once you come through Cops, you'll be able to find a way. But as you said, Cameron,
he's so
very
slow
in
that
that
corner.
is Pavlov very wide off in the background.
Yeah, Tucson very slow in these higher speed corners. I noticed it in Stowe, the corner that we're coming up to now at the end of this back straight. He doesn't quite have the turn in, but he's got the top speed on Zooks. This definitely will be an overtake, but can he make it stick in the braking zone? We have to see. He was
side by side in the braking zone, and he's not going to make it work, but he's got a slow corner next. If he darts it left and hits the brakes late, he's not going to make it work. Tucson, it's like hitting a brick wall, but look who's already caught up to the back of them. This is how slow these guys are going. You've already got Ziravatsky and Pavlov on the back.
Yeah, but Tucson is not doing his racecraft very good because he's losing. He's going for it the wrong places, so he's losing time. Whoa!
Oh, that was very close. In here comes Pavlov to the outside, and he's going to make the move stick. Tucson's going to look to defend. The turn-in's not there. There's too much understeer on that Invictus, and you can see it clearly. But Matthew Tucson's going to have the DRS. It's going to be very close. Pavlov to the inside, defensive. Tucson to the outside. Not going to work. Matt, calm down. You're being way too aggressive at the moment. It's just not working out for you.
I think
Pavlov, Tucson's now got a chance to sit down, close up the back of these guys, and watch those two fight. See where Pavlov is weak. See where Zooks is weak. And then see who's stronger where. And, well, here we go. The fight for 5th place.
Oh, Pavlov's off. Pavlov is off.
Pavlov needs to watch what he's doing because he will get pinged for that. He will very much get pinged for going wide there way too many times, as Cameron Rodgers found out multiple times in the series of him being an RD and an admin here. You get pinged way too many times for going off the track like that.
Yeah, there are limits to how much you can cut. You're allowed a couple, but you're not allowed to be cutting all the time. And he has been wide a few times, so hopefully for him he'll be inside the limits. But I think Tucson, I think it's actually his gearing maybe that is completely off, but something is not right with his cars in these high speed corners. He's losing a lot of time, and he's definitely lost his chance to get 5th place today. But Pavlov is going to try and make this work. He's got the car, he's got the new tyres, and it seems like Netrex have quite low top speed, as they did last time in Paul Ricard as well. So Pavlov is going to be having a look down into Brooklands on this straight coming up.
So if Netrex and Invictus are struggling with top speed here and are struggling with the setup, what's that going to bode for their Pro Championship and World Championship fights as Pavlov to the inside? That is nearly beautiful from Pavlov. Zooks is having to go very tight and defensive. Pavlov Oh, the mid-corner grip is beautiful from the Royal Blue car. As they power down towards Copse Corner, it's going to be very much showing of what they can do. And through Copse, Tucson through Copse having to lift off. So that's where he's losing time. He's lifting through Copse, Cameron. Maybe not much confidence in the car through there. But Pavlov, oh boy, is Vladislav Pavlov getting very, very close and very, very happy indeed.
Though Royal Blue do have quite high wings as well. He is not catching the Nerex anywhere near as quick as Tucson did on the straights. So Royal Blue liking a higher wing setup, which is obviously good in these high-speed corners, but it's making it difficult for him to overtake right now.
Well, having a higher wing does counteract a lot of things, but around here, not necessarily a bad thing to do as long as you can keep your pace alongside you. But we have seen that Pavlov has got plenty of top speed under his belt, and you can just see the grip he's got through 1, 2, and then into 3. He gets right on the back of the Nerex. And I think he's going to be trying to make a move through some of these higher speed corners. Oh, the rear end comes out. That's ruined all of the chance of a run he's wanted. On the DRS.
Still very close,
Here we go. No, this is going to be it. Zux to the inside. Pavlov to the outside. And he's got the grip. We know he's got the grip. Oh, he's having to run wide because of Zux, and Zux cuts in front of him. That is pretty dangerous by Zux. But not going to worry Pavlov. Pavlov's gone straight through again.
Yeah, he's got so much grip in the mid-corner section of Luffield. But Zux is going to get up the inside again into Copse. This is wonderful fighting with just 2 laps to go of this race.
There was contact between the two as well as Zux came across the front. Obviously unintentionally. But Pavlov losing the place just as quickly as he got it.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for him to keep this place, it seems. Zux has definitely got a lot of pace about him. But let's see what they do on this back straight. Seems like Pavlov has he might be using a bit of quality boost here as well, because he's so much quicker than he was on the last lap. He's going to have to go round the outside. He's got the car length, but can he keep on the exit? Yes, he can. So he's finally made that move stick. But will Zoltz have a look into the braking zone? No, he can't. So he's finally, after about 5 laps, Pavlov has got up into P5.
And now we'll just watch him drive away into the distance. His teammate, Danny Robbins, not that far up the road either. But obviously, great to see the Royal Blue guys getting very, very high up the order indeed. And that leaves Tucson to wonder what he can do. But he's got Jiri Siravatsky on the back of him. And with Siravatsky hitting later than Tucson, from what I remember, not going to work out in his favour. And a bit further back, Cameron, this fight for P10, Balas Galliard is holding up a fair few drivers, and I wouldn't be surprised if he comes under pressure with the top speed that the Nerex is lacking.
Yeah, points go down to 15th, so these guys will be fighting all the way to the end, even though they're outside the top 10. And Balasgalia has got Alfie Lawrenson, who may be subject to a post-race penalty. We'll have to see what the stewards say with that incident with Adam Rainey. But with only a lap and a half to go, these guys are going to be doing all they can to get some points.
Oh, now, Zoltz went very, very wide at Copse Corner, Cameron. Are those tyres dying just a bit too much? And he's gone wide again. So Tucson's
got a chance
this
here.
Might be it, but the DRS is very strong around here, so I don't think Zux is going to have a problem.
Oh yeah, Zux had it himself.
Indeed, but look at how wide he had to go on the entry into there. I think Zux is struggling now, Cameron, and with a lap to go here, these guys are going to get very, very impatient indeed.
Yeah, we are on to this last lap. Tom Lombards is leading by 4 seconds from Jan Woznicka. We'll check up with him in a minute. We'll see what these guys can do for the battle for P5. Pavlov has it at the moment. He's not pulling away like we quite thought. But we'll see if Matt Tucson can finally make a move stick as we come...
Oh,
who's that? Six. Yes, he must have used some quali boost or something like that, because he has blown up his engine.
And that is a retirement for Zoltz. That means both Breslin cars will get into the points. They were running 15th and 16th. All they need to do is just get to the end. Zux will crawl to a hole. His teammate goes past. But up the front, Tom Lomberts is onto the hangar straight. He's got Miguel de los Rios just a bit further up the road in front, but he will be no harder at all. But what a fairy tale story for the Belgian. Tom Lomberts moves from flag to go speed. His first race back in the Academy Series in a long time. And what's going to happen? It was a very good qualifying session, and it's going to be a win for the Belgian. He will win the Academy race at Silverstone. Jan Wozniacki will finish second, a giant haul of title points back in the Drivers' Championship compared to Kaz Reitfeld. And third, Michael Wilson, 2 Ghost Speeds on the podium today. Fourth place is an absolutely outstanding drive by Danny Robbins with that strategy. Fourth place. And fifth, he made the 2-stop work, Cameron. Vladislav Pavlov will finish P5, Tucson 6th. One of his best finishes in Formula Sim racing. Jiri Suravatsky 7th. 8th, Jakub Karčević. 9th, Palas Galliard. Netrix scoring some points. 10th is going to be Drillers Alfie Lawrenson, although maybe under a penalty. 11th, Noah Rivers. Indrek Remitz 12th. Niran Janku Mar 13th. 14th is going to be Rainer Vergier. And 15th, Mike Almeida. Edouard Batalla. Kudos to Edouard Batalla. 16th place. A gain of 14 places from where he started, Cameron. And I am very impressed with him indeed.
Yeah, what a race that was. That was such a close fight for the whole race. I mean, yes, the battle for the lead did die down in that last 5-10 laps, but the racing was so good, as this circuit always is. And it's what we said in qualifying. There are not many slow-speed corners, and you don't really lose time in high-speed corners, so they could just keep on fighting and fighting for all of this 32-lap race. And Tom Lombards takes his first victory in the Academy Championship. And Jan Wozniacki finishing P2 is actually only going to be 4 points behind Kaz Reitfeld, because Kaz was leading by 24 points. You get 20 points for second place. So Jan is going to be right in this championship hunt. And even Pavlov was some 40 odd points behind, but he's going to be about 20 points behind. So he is also back into the championship hunt as well.
Oh, so into getting spicy here as we leave the circuit of Silverstone. And well, it's a very, very interesting one indeed, Cameron. And one that I didn't really expect to happen. I don't think anyone expected the events of today to happen. But what we can say is, after Kaz's retirement of multiply surprising proportions, I can say the very least, I was extremely surprised at that. But oh my dear God, what a race from the Academy field once again. And well, if we look at the calendar, 7th of July, we're off to Germany, ladies and gentlemen. We're off to the Hockenheimring, and not a track I particularly enjoy, but it's good for racing. And oh boy, I can't wait to see how things are going to be in Cameron. I don't think you can wait either for what's going to be an outstanding race in Germany.
Yeah, but also we got some more racing today. In about an hour's time, we have the Pro Championship, which is the intermediate class, and then in about 3 hours' time, we have the World Championship race, also from Silverstone. So check that out at 18:30 GMT. So it's actually about 4 hours from now. We will see them. But from me and Alex, this has been the 6th round of the Academy Championship for 2019, and we look forward to seeing you in the races coming up to date. They will be linked on our YouTube channel, so just check them out. But for now, we will say goodbye, and we will see you later this afternoon.